This one's a bit of a heavy pill to swallow. My manager took my idea again. Over my finance career, often, like so many times, my managers took my idea in meetings and presented them to higher management as their own ideas. And as I moved up the ranks and was CFO, the CEO one time stole my idea. And I would, every time it happened, I was like this, frustrated, furious, flabbergasted. And I remember one time swearing in the middle of the meeting and go, "That's not your idea. That was my idea." I was furious that this kept happening over and over and over. Well, I had big realization a couple of weekends ago about how our minds work and how this continuously kept happening to me. So we're out jet skiing, me and my husband, and we ran aground a couple of times, and we got to a spot where we sucked up the seaweed and the jet skis overheated, and we were drifting until we could fix up the jet skis. And when we fixed the jet skis up, my husband, he's pretty incredible, Derek, he took care of his own first, and then he helped me with mine. Then we were there side by side, and the water had changed, so we couldn't go back out the same way we came in because the tide moved and there were sandbanks. And I saw a boat go from not far away from us around through the channels and out. And I said to my husband, if we follow that boat, we should be able to get out, because if a boat can go that way, then we're jet skis. We should be able to go that way. And he said, no, that boat's going to another boat ramp. We're not going to that boat ramp. We're going to the other boat ramp. We can't follow that boat. So that was okay. So we drove here, we drove there, we drove a bit round everywhere. About 20 minutes, half an hour later, we were stopped discussing how we were going to go, what we were going to do. We're like Gilligan's Island on our 3-hour adventure tour. Anyway, then my husband turned to me and he said, I just watched this boat go round and round there and out. So if a boat can go round there and out, so can we. Now, let me tell you a little bit about my husband. He's a really detail logical person. He's very precise. He's a perfectionist. He likes to do things the right way. And we've been married 30 years this year, and there's no way ever that he would take my idea and present it as his own. So the big realization for me in that moment was how our brains work. When we don't have any awareness in our brain, when it's a new idea, it's a new concept, it's a new something in our brain, we don't have anything to attach it to. So if we talk about gestalt and feelings that stack together like anger, when we have an angry moment, our brain goes, oh, I know what that is, let me put it with the other one. When we have another one, oh, I know what that is, let me put it with another one. I know what that is, let me put it with the other one. And then we have the straw that broke the camel's back, and we have this huge burst of anger come out. So it's the same thing, except when the first event happens, it's got nothing to attach to. So it's not until the second event happens that we've got something to attach it to. So my saying about following the boat, that was the first event. In the brain, there's nothing, there's like no filing cabinet to put it in. My husband didn't take my idea. He had the idea too. And then when we talked about it later, and this was a few days later after I was ruminating and thinking about how the brain works, I explained to him when I said it. And on reflection, he then recalled that I did say it first. But when he said it to me, he had no recollection at all that I had said that idea first. Oh my goodness. My managers all those years did not deliberately steal my ideas and present them as their own. They truly thought they were their ideas in the first instance. So, of course, the CEO was shocked when I swore at him, that's my idea. And yes, on reflection, he did recall that it was my idea, but in the moment that he delivered it to that room of people, he truly thought that it was his idea. Has that happened to you? Understanding how our minds work, will that help you in your career to have different people to bounce things off, to understand why we think this way, to make meaning or help us change the perspectives of the meanings that we make things mean. That's why people have a coach, so that they can come to them in this frustration and say, this is what I think. And often a coach will be able to ask great questions to help you find a completely different perspective about what happened. If you'd like to know more, or you want to know how to understand your own mind to accelerate your career, to be better, to be more understanding, to be a better leader, come and talk to an Empower Services coach. I'm Mary Jensen from Empower Services.